Afternoon, everyone. So thanks for the really good Energizer session before. It means I don't have to do one. But I do want to do a little bit of a social experiment before I get into everything. So there's a few people, especially at the back where I've just been sat, who's been on the phones, which is fair enough, hopefully tweeting about the day. What I want you to do is just really quickly, everyone get your phones out and just go onto your favourite social media that you use for professional purposes, whether you're a recruiter, whether you're an agency, whatever that is. And then this is effectively just a shameless plug. So I want you to go and search for Chatter Communications and just follow us on there, because there's going to be some follow-up from there on the event. So a little bit of introduction about kind of who we are, first of all. We've got myself, Alex. I'm an account manager from Chatter. We're an employer brand agency based up in Leeds.
My name's Lyndsey. I'm one of the resourcing business partner who works for O2.
So we're going to talk to you a little bit about social media today. So what I hope to get out of this is a little bit about kind of why social in the first place. I'm sure a lot of you are either in the process of setting up social media, have established social media, but also I think the people who might get the most out of some of this at least is the people who really want to do social media but are struggling to sell it internally, because I understand that it is quite a hard sell. So what we're going to do is run through a little bit about why social media from an attraction and an engagement point of view, a little bit about the process we work through as an agency and how we've done it particularly with O2, and then a little bit about the impacts that show the return on investment from that. So a little bit in line with what we just got you to do with hopefully following on social media is one of the big backlashes we often get is that people just want to talk about LinkedIn. That is where job seekers are. That is where people engage with companies most. But you can tell from this that if you think about it, most people are on Facebook in one way or another, followed by Instagram, Twitter, and then LinkedIn actually only makes up a small proportion of the job seeker audience, whether they're actively searching on those networks or not. An interesting bit of information, if you think about from when people very first have maybe that bad day at work and think, I'm going to start thinking about looking for a new job, right the way up to actually accepting and starting within a new organisation, candidates will digest somewhere between sort of 90 and 180 pieces of brand information. And if you think on your website at the moment, you might account for some of that. So it's really important to have content that sits in the channels where they're going to be looking, of which social media is obviously a key one. It also sits really nicely within all parts of any media plan. Any good media plan looks at you're paid, you're owned, and you're earned, and it fits really nicely into all that. You obviously own the platforms, they're free to use, you can brand them up and post the content as much as you want. In terms of earned media, all your followers tend to be earned to get into new audiences through that as well, and they've got a really cost-efficient way of advertising through most of the platforms to actually utilise your budget, whether that's from a brand awareness point of view or actually driving volume of applications as well. And then one thing that I think is really undervalued on at the moment is it's a really good listening tool. We've talked a lot today about understanding your people and what they want from an EVP especially, in what they want in return from you and what's going on in your sector. I think people often see social media as a place to shout about what you're doing and what you're great at and what's going on with your organisation, why people should work there. One thing that I think is still really undervalued is actually using it as a listening tool, especially places like Twitter that are becoming more and more difficult to grow an audience. There's still lots of conversations going on in those places to actually find out what's going to be important to the talent that you're trying to attract. And the big sell for me really is that it's free to use the basics. Yes, you can put a lot of money behind content and you can put a lot of money behind advertising, but from an actual just day-to-day usability point of view, it's free to use the basics. You can post and schedule posts, so you don't have to be thinking about something to put out every day. You can comment and message, so there's some direct engagement with candidates, which is obviously very difficult to do, especially with GDPR in place now. And also, one of my favourite bits about it is there's some really good built-in analytics and reporting tools, as well as actually able access to the raw data. So anybody who's really interested in looking at that raw data, or if you've got people in your organisation who are, you can actually delve into that really deeply and get some really nice findings out of it. So I'm going to hand over to Lyndsey to give you a little bit of insight into O2's brand.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's that button to press down?
No, it's not that button. It's that one.
That one aside, okay, just so I know before I start. So I'm just going to take you through some slides, focusing first of all on Ottos Brand and then looking at our people pillars. So everyone knows Otto. We are a recognisable brand, but we're much more than a logo and some bubbles. We are very passionate about our brand, and we really want to reflect that when we're trying to attract candidates to want to come to work for us. So within O2, we have a set of values that we live behind. So we have bold, we have open, and we have trusted. This is our promise. It's something that we inspire to be. They define who we are, and they shape how we behave. So everywhere in our business, everyone is looking and working towards all of those values. And I'm going to take you through what those values mean to us. So in terms of bold, we are ambitious and we're not afraid. We inspire and we challenge the norm. So that's what we do within our business. And what we say is we can achieve anything if we work together. In terms of open, there's no waffle with us. We say it as it is within O2. We do the right thing for our customers and also for our people. We're very aligned to what our consumer strategy is, that we do the right thing. And we have to make sure that we're doing that for our people as well. And we always tell the truth. There's no exaggerations with O2. So we don't bum ourselves up in the media. We just say what we do well and how we do it. And in terms of trusted, we listen to each other, and most importantly, again, we listen to our customers. We're a very customer-centric organisation. We have to attract people who want to do what's right for the customers and the communities in which we serve. We are clear, we mean what we say. We make the complex simple. We are viewed maybe as a mobile phone company. We're much more than that. We're tech and we're digital. We do a lot of different tech stuff, and we do have to make that complex simple, and we're always here to help. And again, that's for our customers and for our people as well. So we have our people pillars, and our people plan is based around what our strategic priorities are as a business. And within this plan, within the HR team that I'm in, we have 3 pillars. The first one is workforce capability. We have one that looks at employee experience, and we have one that looks at high-performing culture. So when we look at workforce capability, what does that mean? It's really simple. We have to make sure that we have the best people with the right skills for today and also for tomorrow. And the environment that we work in, being tech and digital, nothing stands still. We recruit for now, but we have to future-proof ourselves for the future. And being in digital, things are always changing. So what we've got at the moment might not be what we need in the next 12 months. So we've got to be really, really clear in terms of what we're looking for. So that's what we mean by workforce capability. Employee experience is really what it says in the tin. It's making it easy for our people to come to work and for them to concentrate on when they're at work with us and making sure that they're concentrating on the things that matter. So that's our employee experience. And in high-performing culture, again, it says what it says in the tin. We do it by embedding and involving, looking at our talent, making sure that we're giving our people the right tools to develop and progress their career, and making sure that we're all focused on achieving the goals that we have as a business. So how do we do all that? So we do that through talent and performance management. We look at engagement and leadership. Diversity and inclusion is really important. I think everybody will agree in the room that it's a very hot topic at the moment, and we have to make sure that we are diverse and inclusive. And we have workplace tools, and we have Campus, which is our digital learning platform, which means that anyone can access any learning at any time through the web in terms of personal or work development. And that's really how we embed our people plan within our organisation. So I'm going to pass you back to Alex, who's going to talk about how those values and that people plan really helped us look at our social strategy and bring it to life.
So we started working with O2 from a social perspective about around a year ago, and we were basically tasked with improving what was already going on social. I think Lyndsey won't mind me saying that the previous approach was somewhat scattergun. There was lots of content, not necessarily in any semblance of order. It was very much about just the we are hiring message, trying to fill some hard to fill roles. So what we want to do is look at a strategy of that's backed up by data, that buys into the O2 values and really communicates that to an audience that'll help us improve obviously the following, but also the engagement from that following, and eventually into improved numbers of applications and retainment as well. So the first thing we did is we looked at the data. We did a content review. We looked back at about 12 months worth of data. We looked at what had been posted through what channels, when they posted it, who was engaging with it, and tried to figure out what was going on. What did our audience want to engage with? Did that differ on different platforms? Did it differ depending on whether they were viewing it on mobile or on a desktop? Where were people viewing it? Was there any geographic trends or anything like that? Looked at when people are most active, so we're going to get the most bang for our buck from any social posts that we did. We looked at the demographics. We aligned that with some of your policies and strategies internally. So obviously there's always a big diversity angle on there as well. And just made sure we understood what was already going on because we had so much data behind it already. And tried to understand why they might be engaging with different types. So it was really easy to see that, video got more engagement than just a link. But we wanted to understand when there was two videos side by side, what were the different reasons why somebody was engaging with that. And it allowed us to basically set out a really bold plan. And the good thing was that is we saw in first-hand action that the O2 did live by that value of being bold. We came to that meeting with some really strong ideas, and anybody who's ever been to a kind of pitch before will know that you go with the really safe option, you go with the middle option that you think they're going to go for, and then you go for one that demonstrates your real creative thinking. O2 went with that one, which for most people who've ever been in a pitch will understand that it doesn't always happen that way. We used the data to really inform and back our decisions. We knew that things weren't going to just turn around overnight from a month's worth of content. We ensured content was aligned with those pillars. So anything that we were communicating was benefiting the overall people plan from a comms point of view. And we were really ruthless in what we posted. Previously, they'd been putting out sometimes upwards of a sort of a dozen posts a day just to try and get something to stick. But what we did is we set out a plan, we stuck to it, and if something didn't either fit within one of those pillars, didn't tick some of the boxes we'd found from the data, it just didn't go in the plan. We might have revamped it somewhat and made sure it did fit in there, but we were just really ruthless in what we posted and when. And again, the most important bit, which for some people in the room is really interesting, some people will get someone else to do it, but actually look at the data. There's so much data through the analytics, as I was talking about with social media before, that we set out clear monthly tactics. We actually said, right, what we want to do this month is talk about this, this, and this. We want to do it through these channels, and we then listen to the data each month to see what impact it had. It didn't always work. Sometimes we had to massively refine what we did the next month, but it was all came back to that one original strategy. And it enabled us to make more bold decisions. We went from a fairly refined strategy to what is now a very refined content plan where we're even more ruthless, but we are seeing that all the KPIs are going up. And we do it every month. We sit down once a month, we look at the KPIs, we look at some of the trends, the raw data, we talk about the tactics that we've been using, we talk about the tactics that our competitors are using, and we continually evolve, we continually try new things, but we make sure that anytime we try something new, we say, right, what are we hoping to achieve from this? And then look at it in a month's time, 3 months' time, and say, right, what did we actually achieve from there? So in terms of the results from that, it's exactly what you'd hope to see from a campaign with that amount of thinking behind it. We've had a massive increase in follows, especially Instagram, which was something that struggled to get off the ground from basically getting the okay for it from internally. We've had a big growth in followers there. The improved engagement. So I often think that followers are a bit of a vanity KPI. It's quite easy to grow your following. You can buy followers, but the actual engagement from those, so how many people are engaging with each post, what kind of engagement, is it a like, is it a click, is it an application, that engagement has all gone up. And we've seen about a 30% spike in applications just through social, and we're seeing some better engagement internally as well that we hope in the long run will see a real impact on retainment. And we've come up with this really refined content plan, which enables us to get the basics in place. We've got a foundation. We know what we're going to be posting 2, 3, 4 months in advance. So that takes a massive workload off the social media specialist to know that they're not having to think of something to post every day. And it enables them to anything that we want to dial up, we can then do some more exciting content around that. I'll pass back over to Lyndsey to talk about just the wider impact other than just on social media.
Yeah. The results, we've been able to address wider recruitment needs through social. From an O2 perspective, we do use job boards, but we have seen that the traffic from job boards is slowing down, so we want to attract people more through our social routes. And we want to get the YO2 message out. But we do have issues within our business, like any business, trying to attract niche skills, trying to attract more females into tech. So we're able to put a narrative and a story that backs up why we're looking for these certain types of people, and that has worked really well. We do certain campaigns as part of our social strategy. So this week is all about our people week on social. So every day we're telling different people stories. The next week we are coming up is all round about our benefits. We have a week that's going to be looking at our women in tech. So we have a theme as well that goes round. So it's not just a case of, as Alex said before, scattergun and just saying we have a job, apply for O2. We're giving people the reason why they should be applying for O2. So we mentioned there, diversity and inclusion, big key topic for us. So we're asked to attract more females into our organisation. We're asked to attract more BAME minorities into our organisation. We're asked to attract an older generation into O2. So it's not just that gender, it encompasses everything in terms of that. Our quality of applications have improved. We've had people that have applied because they've seen us on social. They're coming along to interviews. They're able to tell us why they want to apply for O2 because they've seen our content on social. And we will continue to keep on shouting out about that. But we have seen that people are actually seeing what it's like to work at O2. What are the benefits to them? You know, our benefits package, is it the fact that we are very corporate social responsibility? Is it about our culture and our environment? So that has really benefited us. We have seen reduced attrition. Again, it's all about candidates looking at what it's like to work for O2. You will get some candidates who will deselect themselves at that point. But again, you'll have people that will be very passionate about that is the company that I want to work for. That's where I can see that I will be able to develop and take my career forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.